Actually, before I go, I'll show you these shelves. Remember I was talking about these shelves, getting them done? So I took down the old ones, sort of cheap IKEA ones. That was okay, but that was a bit too small. This was an old scaffold plank that was in my mum's garden for, must be over 40 years, and left out in the rain and all sorts, so it's quite mouldy. But look at the quality of it still. So all I did was jet washed it down, sawed it into the same shapes for the shelves, left it raw looking. So this is all just as a result of being jet washed. Gave it a clear coat of varnish, got these heavy duty metal brackets which I've put everywhere, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It is quite sort of, you know, it's a bit Fred Flintstone, but I quite like it. It's quite nice, quite rustic. And this stuff here, I'll quickly show you this. This is an old, basically this hatchet here came with the garage. It was in the garage when I bought it, and I made a handle up for it, put some brass rivets in there, sanded it all down. This is just a cheap bit of plywood. I just wanted to see how it would look. And then I got quite into it, and I made a paracord handle for this little fella here, which I really enjoyed doing. So I bought the other day this little knife blank. Hopefully you can see that. It's only like 20 odd quid, but it's very good quality. It's extremely sharp, and I'll be chopping down bits of tree in the garden, overgrown branches, and I've got a piece of willow here, so I'm going to shape this up. Basically, obviously that goes into there. Need to make that hole bigger so that goes to about there, then shape it up. And these are actually, that's actually a 2p coin, believe it or not. And I've just been experimenting on how easy it is to sort of buff them up and get a nice shine to it, so I can put these as a stopper for the handle just in there. But it's all sort of experimental and mucking about. This is an old file, and you can see where I've sort of cut the profile into a blade, so I'm going to work on that soon as well. Because I've got this grinder thing here, and I've got what I call these things, these flappy angle grinder discs. Really good for doing all that sort of stuff. Not particularly refined, but you know, I'll give it a shot. Right, let's get out of here. Testicles, spectacles, wallet, watch. Yep, done. Let's go. Do I need petrol? Petrol! No, I should be alright. So I've actually discovered that slow puncher that I've got, I believe it is the valve itself, because when I went to fill it up again, to top it up, the valve was just ever so slightly loose. So really I need to get this tyre off and get someone to just, well, I can do it, but I don't have the tools to remove tyres, or indeed put a tyre on, so I'll have to get someone to do that. Speaking of which, actually before I say anything else, a quick thank you to all the guys that bought stickers from the last vlog that I did. Thank you very much, much appreciated. So I sent those pretty much the second you paid for them, so you should all have those now. I know Tommy up in Norway, Tommy Stromlund, has got his. He sent me a picture on Instagram, and they arrived safe and sound, so excellent. It's always nice to see. It's a weird thing seeing something that I sort of created up in somewhere like Norway. It's just it's a really odd sensation. I know it sounds weird, but to be appreciated, or to have someone acknowledge what you do and apparently enjoy it is a really fulfilling thing, and it kind of spurs you on to do more. So yeah, I'm very grateful for all you guys that bought some stickers. There's a few left there, so if you want one, I shall leave the email down below for the PayPal doodah. and yeah, if you want some, just let me know. So what was I going to say? Yes, mobile tyre fitters. Now, I used to go to, you guys in the UK will probably know a company called Watlings. They're still around, but the one I used to go to was in Catford, and it was a big one, and it was kind of mostly focused on motorcycles, and you'd get a lot of courier riders in there, which is always a good sign, because courier riders tend to know the best places to go to for these sort of things, because they have to do it all the time. So yeah, I was going there since I started riding 25 odd years ago, and because of the bloody coronavirus, they've had to close down their branch in Catford. So now I'm not too sure where to go in Dartford, at least, but I've heard there are quite a few companies that can drive out to you in their van and fit tyres where you work or where you live. So I think I'd like to give that a shot. So if you guys have ever tried that before, or you know of a reputable person that offers this service, then let me know down below, and I shall pay them, because these tyres aren't going to last much longer. There's still a lot of tread on them, but they've been so riddled with plugs that I don't think it's very wise. Anyway, or if indeed you know of a decent tyre fitters in Dartford, or sort of around Kent, close to where I am, let me know. Be muchos gracias. Look at this Ranger truck. Is that classed as a pickup? It's not a pickup, is it? I don't know. Guys in America, what would you call this style of vehicle? Is it a pickup? Is it a truck? And what do we call it over here? Just in case my lottery numbers come up and I need to buy one and not make a fool out of myself. I used to do a paper round actually when I was a kid. I started when I was about 10 years old, did it for about 3 years. £10 a week I used to earn, and that's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning 7 days a week to walk for about 45 minutes. £10 a week, and that £10 used to last. And I remember we used to say to the guy, can you keep behind me £10, I'll have £20 next week. And boy, when you got that £20 note, you used to feel like Jeff Bezos. A whole, like, can you imagine it? A 12-year-old, like, we're talking back in the 80s now, obviously, a £20 note. They used to last for months. Now I blow that on breakfast before I even start work. You go to a cafe, I'll have a coffee please. Sure, £6 please. What? Oh, I'll have a coffee and a toasted cheese sandwich. Yeah, no worries, £16. London prices, baby. I've noticed that a lot lately since owning this house, is that everything seems to be getting insanely expensive. I told you about the Centre Parks thing, didn't I, last time? What was it, £5 for a week? No. If I get to keep the cabin afterwards, then yeah, maybe. No one these days gets told the price of something and says, blimey, that's cheap, I'll have 2 of those please. No one does that anymore. It's like, how much? Regardless of what it is. A cup of tea, £1.50. What? I could buy 100 tea bags for that, and a pint of milk. Is that the sign that you're getting old? That you complain how cheap things were back in the old days? Oh, I've got to tell you about a guy. I'm hoping I'll catch him on camera one day. Every time I see him, my camera's not running, it's not on the helmet. But he owns... Now, first of all, I don't judge people, because first of all, who am I? Who am I to judge, right? But this guy this guy takes it to next level proportions. I've got to tell you about him. He rides a pan-European, which is they're lovely bikes, you know, really dependable tourers, used by the old bill, used by lots of old geezers to do their touring. Fine, great bikes. But this guy, I don't know where it's not a factory colour, but he's painted it yellow, or he's sprayed it yellow, or someone's done it for him. When I say he sprayed the bike, I mean he has sprayed everything. Even the windscreen at the front is sprayed yellow. The tank, the frame, parts of the engine, from what I can see, are yellow. All the panniers at the back are yellow. What would be the black plastics are yellow. And I'm not talking about a lovely kind of deep, luscious Ferrari yellow. It is more like a British row in the 70s yellow. It is absolutely grotesque. It looks, oh, it's just horrible. And to top it off, okay, bearing in mind this guy's bike is entirely yellow, looks like a banana going down the road. He has a yellow, or the sort of day glow safety trousers, a day glow safety jacket. He has a white helmet, right, you know where I'm going with this one. And guess what else he wears? The classic polite notice vest. I couldn't, like, I saw the guy and I was like, what? I mean, how badly do you want to be a policeman? Just go and be a policeman and you can deal with that stuff for real. I mean, like I've said before, wear whatever you want on a bike. Wear a pair of flip-flops, wear a pair of shorts, wear your full-on Power Ranger race levers. It is none of my business, and I do not judge. But this guy, oh boy, and you can tell he's very because when he's riding he's very judgmental of other riders, and the reason I know that is because he rides past people in cars and sometimes motorbikes, and he sort of waves his hand in the air like as if to say, you know, what are you doing, kind of thing. And he's nodding his head all the time. I'm thinking, geez, man, you got to relax, you got to chill out, enjoy it. Maybe take some of the yellow off your bike. Oh God, I would love if I saw him today. I've got to show you this guy. Banana man. Motorcycles to me represent, you know, there's an air of coolness about it, you know, the kind of the black leather, the denim, you know, the cool looking bike. He's taken all of that, painted it yellow and stuck a polite notice vest on it. But you know what, I wish him all the best, I genuinely do. It's like that kind of 70s yellow, you know, that kind of dirty, grimy yellow, that industrial looking yellow. Yeah, right, we get it, Billy, it's yellow. But the pan-European as a bike, lovely. Can't knock it, you know. It's a bit, you know, they're quite conservative, but so what? You get about 300 miles out of a tank on those things, I think. God, you know what? I really have to restrain myself sometimes when I don't know what it is, when you see people just drive, especially car drivers that drive really aggressively and they get right up your ass and then they zoom off ahead of you. My temptation is to ride up to them, and I've done it a few times, and it's really silly to try and catch up with them and then overtake them. That kind of, you know, tit for tat, which is really, really silly and it's dangerous, and you're effectively bringing yourself down to their level. So I have become slightly more restrained and chilled out in my 40s, and I'm beginning to care less and less, and I get less angry about it, even though I did just call that guy a twat. But I have to just let it go. He's doing his thing. If he wants to drive around like an idiot, that is up to him. Follow suit. Look at that thing. I wonder how Bentley feel about, you know, obviously they're a very prestige car company, and I feel like they've been somewhat tarnished by the fact that a lot of footballers buy their cars, especially, remember back in the 90s, like kind of, or not the 90s, the early 2000s, a lot of chavs were buying Burberry. Do you remember that? And Burberry, like Bentley, is a sort of top end prestige company. And what must they have thought when all these chavs started wearing their clothes? I was like, oh, for Christ's sakes. Come on. Oh God, look at him, look. Your car's too big, mate. Oh God. Oh, here it is, Merry Vlogmas. Everybody's having fun. It's Vlogmas. Good evening, officer. You know, it's a sad state of affairs when you see a police van and nearby there's a taped off area that instantly you think, all right, someone's been stabbed. Someone's been stabbed. But that is unfortunately the situation we are in London, at least. Not a day goes by where you don't hear about a new stabbing, which is really grim. I have to, after work, go to my mum's house and I have to trim her back door. Now, I know what that sounds like, but that is literally what I have to do. She's had a new carpet fitted and the door is now sticking or rubbing against the carpet, so I have to trim her back door. I love that sort of thing, those kind of, that sort of humour. Yeah, I've got to trim me bush today. Got to go around my mum's house, trim her bush. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, she's got an overgrown clematis. Oh jeez, I'll crack it up. Oh look, World of Hat, World of Hat. We sell more than one hat. You know what I think would be a good idea with this whole vlogging thing, which I enjoy immensely. I think what would be a good idea is to just have it running for the whole week, and then just chop together all the highlights in one go. But that would be hours and hours of footage to go through. But the thing is with these videos, I've noticed, is if they're too long, the viewing time tends to drop off about halfway. So it's always best to kind of keep it, you know, 7 or 8 minutes. Because today we have the attention span of a goldfish, and that's what we prefer, apparently. I can get in front of this person. What am I doing? I'm on a motorbike. Do what I want, mate. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, I'm in front of you. But how about that how old is she? 18, I believe, that girl from Bromley, which is just down the road from where I used to live, winning the US Open. 18-year-old British girl, top of the world. Unbelievable. Can you imagine the sponsorship interest she's going to get, and therefore the money that young lady is about to earn? Unbelievable. She's come from nowhere and she's just won the US Open. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. People must be clamoring, companies must be clamoring to get a piece of her. Nike, Adidas, whoever. Her value has just rocketed overnight. Oh, actually, before I sign out, remember that company that I did the power bank video for? And I still stand by it. It's an excellent little charger. They said to me, can you send us a photo of yourself so we can put it onto the website and have your quote next to it, you know? So they wanted a photo which was like a sort of one of those cheesy corporate lifestyle sort of pictures, you know, the type. I'll put one up here. And I am not the sort of person that has those sort of photos. Nice, pissing in the street, class. So basically they said, I told them, look, I don't have those sort of pictures. I'm certainly not going to have one of them taken of me. So I sent them a load which I thought was a bit better, like kind of more natural, you know, just me in my element kind of pictures on the bike or whatever. But no, that's not good enough apparently. They want a cheesy lifestyle shot, and I'm not going to give them one. So I will not be on their website, which is fine. I don't mind. I still stand. It's not the it's got nothing to do with the product itself. The product is great, but it's the sort of marketing, the marketing side of it. Oh, bollocks. Bye, baby.